official Big Brother 17 show with your winner, Steve. We have so many things to tell you guys, but you know the deal. If you want to see any of our past content from Big Brother 17, head over to yourrealityrecaps.com/BB17. If you guys want to tweet us questions for Steve during this show, you can use hashtag YRRLive. That being said, thumbs up and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube, and you can click these buttons later, or 5-star rating and a nice review on iTunes. Of course, make sure you guys become a fan right now. On YouNow, click the button up there, or the man with the plus and the head, and when Steve gets on here, and I'll remind you all, we're gonna megaphone and thumbs up arrow it. That being said, shut up, Eric. Congratulations, Jen is already winning. Number one fan, Jen, you're winning again. But here he is. Without further ado, Stamper Squad in the house. It's our Stevie. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
How are we doing, Steve?
I'm good. It's been a really overwhelming couple of days. I mean, came home. My hometown was so welcoming. I got like a police and fire truck escort into my town. And it was like at midnight because my flight was late. And then I came in, and then like this park full of people. So even after I got home, I was signing autographs. I was taking selfies. My house got really, really decorated. People had like posters in the yard. They had like ribbons and all the trees. It was... Wow, I've never had this much attention before, and it's very strange.
Well, you're going to get a lot of strange attention right now, Steve, because I know you're new to the YouNow, so I got to explain to you what's going to happen right now. We're going to pose for everybody. You don't have to pose if you don't want to, but everybody's going to use their megaphones and their little square up arrows, and they're going to tweet it out to all the interwebs that we're live, Steve. So I just do this. I do this for everyone. I go, hi. And I freeze. Hi. There you go. Steve and I doing our pose, everyone. Megaphone, square up arrow it. I'm going to pick a winner for rubber duckies from people that megaphone and square up arrow it this show. All right, Steve.
Yes.
Right off the bat, I need to ask the hard-hitting questions to you, okay?
Okay.
Number one, how much money can I borrow? What is the appropriate amount I'm allowed to ask for?
You could ask for 2 cents. I'm not giving anything away. I'm being very, very careful and conservative with that cash.
Steve, I think that is 100% the smart way to play it. Definitely.
Because I didn't have any plans, because winning money was zero part of my motivation for the show. So
what was your motivation?
I love the show. I'm a fan. I want a chance to play the game. I mean, everyone always comes out. Every year at the finale backyard, people always say, wow, this is so much different than I thought it would be. It's like, okay, I believe it, but I want to see how it's different.
All right, Steve, I'm going to hope this works. We have a million questions. Questions are pouring in, but I want to get this out of the way to start with, Steve. So I hope this is going to work for you. I hope you're going to be able to hear this, but we need to talk about something right off the bat. And we have visual aids here. So you ready?
Before I came on to Big Brother, I literally watched so much Big Brother stuff. Like,
please.
Like,
Please.
how about your reality recaps?
Yes.
Yeah, reality recaps. I did that.
Yeah.
You know, big people. You know?
Wait, what?
Steve, what was the big people about with that little James A?
I'm not going to pretend to understand James, so I love James very much. I have no idea how his brain works.
I do know the answer to this. I heard from the chat room on one of our shows that it was, that's what they do in the South. That's like a sign of affection in the South. I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. It's what I heard.
I'm about as unsouthern as it gets, so.
Okay, Steve, here really is your for real hard question. Much easier with you here. We're going to talk about tons of fun stuff, but there's one thing that you talked about a lot on the feeds. You probably won't be able to answer it now, but they'll kill me if I don't ask. You mentioned a lot about a secret that you were telling Vanessa that you
Yes.
didn't want. Are you able to share the secret
I
with the world?
invite you to conspiracize and make it whatever conspiracies you want. I don't care to talk about it.
Oh, okay, Steve. There you go. We like a conspiracy theory, Steve.
But I invite you to come up with your conspiracy theories, and I look forward to seeing what you have to come up with.
Have you heard any of the conspiracy theories yet?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Oh, there's a lot of. Okay, I just want to know if you heard.
I'm actually thoroughly enjoying seeing what people are coming up with. So keep the conspiracies coming. I love it.
All right, All right, so now let's talk about something that's not a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Steve, why you hate Basic Becky?
That was blown so far out of proportion.
Mm-hmm.
The entire thing with Becky comes from this.
Okay.
Number one, she kept out loud comparing me to Ian. And I'm like, no, please don't do that because that makes me a threat. Number two, she wasn't really open to talking game with me at all. The one moment that sticks in my head, she was head of household in the second week.
Right.
And I tried offering her, hey, if you keep me safe this week, I won't put you up for 2 weeks, which didn't matter because I was throwing every HOH, but I offered her that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would understand she's not interested. She wants to nominate me anyway. She doesn't accept that. Cool. But she acted like I was throwing a hot potato at her.
Mm-hmm.
It was so strange that I just could not have. She refused to have any type of game talk. Even like with Meg or Jackie or James, I could throw out the BS about how I was going after Austin. And even though it completely wasn't true,
Right.
I could have that conversation with them.
All right. Steve, super fan. You are a super fan. Explain to the people, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but why did you not fight harder against having those twins come in the house?
Because they were on my side. There were people coming after me, and there were people who weren't coming after me. The twins were on my side. Austin was on my side. People who wanted me out were like James, Meg, Jackie, Becky. So, like, why would I? It's a number for me.
Right, exactly.
So another target in front of me. I'm a huge fan of having people who are targets in front of me. By being aligned with the twins and having them in my alliance, that way, if someone from the other side won power and went after my alliance, they go after the twins before me.
I would like to share a moment with you that you probably have already seen, but in case you haven't, I know a lot of people love it. So, Steve, let's look at the moment that you won. You did it, Steve. You did it. You won.
I don't know how, but I did. Yes.
You won. All right.
It came down to the... I'm sorry. Continue.
No, go. You please. People don't want to hear me talk.
Oh, I'm good. I do want to hear you talk.
Well, I know, because you loved us in the house. All right, let me ask you this. What did you think? I know a ton of people. Right now, Jennerific, the #1 fan before this show started, she was like, I want to know this from Steve. And I see a lot of people in the chat wanting to know it. So, Austin calling you a boy all season a lot. Is it offensive to you? Was it a joke between you two? What do you have to say about it?
My strategy this whole time was to play down me as much as possible. I wanted to be a waste of someone else's HOH. There was no reason to come after me. There was no reason to target me. And by Austin calling me boy, it was kind of showing me my strategy was working because it means I'm not scary. There's no reason to come after me. I'm not going to. If there's who does he need to go after to protect him and the twins? Not me. It's not the boy. The boy can't do anything.
Right.
So I'm like, cool.
Yeah. See, I feel like it was disrespectful in the beginning. Like when he was doing in the beginning, I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But towards the end, I feel like maybe in Austin's brain, he like built it up to the arc of the story. Like he got to make the grand speech of how Steve has went from a boy to a man and I'm delivering the speech. I kind of, no, too much credit.
I mean, all it did is like, he's calling me boy, that means my strategy's working. Cool, and I never thought anything more of it. Because my feelings do not matter in the house.
Now,
anyone who thinks their feelings matter is wrong.
Look, hey, Steve, it's a live show. Yes. And as I told people after the finale, don't anybody ever complain about our audio and video problems ever again. I'm just one person.
I love them. Because Vanessa couldn't ask me a question, and it probably wouldn't have been a very nice question. So...
Now, I am so glad that you just said that. So that's true, right? That's what the situation was. The audio problems are why Vanessa couldn't ask a question?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay.
I didn't receive any type of official confirmation, but it's like they said we were kind of running behind on time, and then we lost more because I got feedback when I was casting my vote to evict Vanessa.
Right.
And then I had to start my first answer 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to guess it was probably just cut due to time constraints.
Yeah. See, the conspiracy theory on that was I was like, oh my God, Vanessa's so angry. She doesn't want to ask a question. Oh my God, first time ever. Like, it makes sense now that it would be, a time
I think it was
or
time.
feedback. A time or feedback. Were you there? Just one, not Steve related question. Were you there when Mel proposed to Vanessa at the rap party?
I was not. It wasn't at the rap party. I think it was at the hotel.
Oh,
It was before the rap party.
I thought I heard she did it like at the actual Rachel's thing.
Because I heard I was actually congratulating her in her hotel room before we left to go.
Oh, okay.
It was before. The ponytail beard was cut at the party.
Right. The ponytail was
The proposal was like, it was only like a couple hours before, but it was before.
Okay, right.
Mel had this super nice setup in the hotel room with like roses and these lights. It was a phenomenal setup, but it was in the hotel room.
It was. Okay. All right. Let's go back to what I was saying before we had the other issue, because you're not getting out of this, Steve.
Okay, of what?
I feel like there are some people that kind of don't understand and I know there's no real right or wrong way to play Big Brother, but I think one thing a lot of super fans agree on is you lay low until jury. You don't play game until jury. So I see a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I see people giving you shit that Steve didn't play until jury started. Right, exactly, like he was supposed to.
I did. I think a lot of it was just not in the editing. Because the one thing that didn't come up in the show is that Sixth Sense and the Freaks and Geeks, aka the Scamper Squad, were formed at the same time.
Right.
So all I was doing is my game up until jury, but it was entirely defensive. I didn't have targets. I just had friends.
Right.
So I did play, but it was like I never went after everyone. I threw every HOH before the one I accidentally won. I also threw every single HOH before that.
Now, what was the deal with double elimination, Steve? You made me curse at you one time this show while I was watching. And it was during that first double elimination. I'm like, Steve, what? I was like throwing water bottles. I'm like, what are you doing, Steve? What are you doing? Why'd you do it? First one. Well, you kind of took out the side that was going to help you out. You kind of like went along with Vanessa's side and Austin.
I've been in that alliance since week 3.
Well, all right. That's okay. So
I've been in the Freaks and Geeks against the Freaks and Geeks with me, Austin, Vanessa, and the twins formed in week 3. Mm-hmm. They had been my alliance the entire game up to that point. I wasn't working with James and Meg and Becky. I was working with Austin, the twins, and Vanessa.
But you didn't feel like that, you didn't feel like you could, well, obviously, you picked the right choice. That's what I said. I was like, we're all mad at Steve right now, but if he wins, then I don't even know why we're going to argue at this point with him. And you won, so you made the right choice. But yeah, I think just a lot of people wanted you to go work with, the goblins. They did.
I mean, I wasn't on that side of the house, and I think I would have been I'm not going to pretend I was in with the Scamper Squad. I mean, I was fully aware the entire time I was low man.
Right.
But I also would have been low man with the goblins too.
Mm-hmm. I think people just wanted to see you together. I think people felt like you maybe would have fit in more on that side of the house. I think it's just fans wanting you to go there, not your fit.
I mean, I was with the Freaks and Geeks and the Scamper Squad.
Exactly.
I was never a part of the goblins. I tried to make them think I was in case they got power and hide it, because again, it was that my relationship with Austin, the way he bullied me, that's why James went after Clelly instead of me and the Scamper Squad. I feel like that's probably my single biggest contribution to the alliance, behind second to getting Jackie, was making James put up Clelly.
Exactly. I completely agree with that. And you laid it all out. Well, we'll get to finale, but you laid it all out brilliant. I was like, oh yeah, Steve did do that. Oh, Steve did do that. Okay.
I did.
Okay. All right. Jason in the chat room wants to know, how are you and Vanessa doing right now? What's the status of your relationship with Vanessa right now?
We talked and gave some hugs after finale. We understood no hard feelings about anything. We haven't communicated at all. I think she went back to Vegas for the parties, and I don't think we haven't communicated since I've been home. But I'm not expecting anything negative to come up.
I don't think she will either. I'm hoping. There were like a lot of times I knew people gave her like shit for being like such a gamer and almost mean gamer, but there were times when she was like, nope, that won fair and square, so and so won fair and square. So I'm thinking she's going to be good with it. She seemed good with it on finale, so good. What?
Then you could ask about why. Then that opens up the question of why did she cast the vote the way she did?
So what is your theory on that? I'll tell you what mine is. What's yours?
According to her speech, Liz better represented what this season was about.
Right. So is that what you're going with? Do you want my opinion?
I would love to hear your opinion.
My opinion is, and Vanessa, if you're watching, you know I love you. I was Team Vanessa, and that was very hard to say to your mom, by the way, Steve. Your mom's like, who do you want to win, Eric? And I went, well, I want
Vanessa?
Steve. No, I said I want Steve to win, but it's gonna be Vanessa. Okay, so here's what I think. I think Vanessa, like she's done all during the game, is very good at giving a reason that hides the actual reason. So if I was Vanessa, I would be like, I'm pissed as shit that Steve just voted me out, but that's not what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it was the season of twins, and that's why I'm voting a twin for the win.
It seems strange because she's been such a strong player, making so many power moves. And it's so contradictory to an entire game to think that she would vote bitter. So I have a really hard time imagining it was a bitter vote just because it's completely contradictory to her entire game.
But I know you haven't watched the season yet, and this is something that has annoyed me that I've complained about. CBS really gave Vanessa credit for everything. The whole
one
season.
thing I did hear about is
okay.
that in the show, apparently it looked like in Final Five, it looked like Vanessa was talking Johnny Mac into voting for me, when really that was Johnny Mac hiding the alliance. The mastermind behind that conversation was not Vanessa; it was Johnny Mac. But Vanessa was given all the credit for it at the edit because it was never shown that Johnny Mac was really just working to hide the rock stars.
Exactly. Like trust me, everybody watching this show right now, Steve knows that. We talked a lot about it. You all were confusing us though. Let's jump into you and Johnny Mac for a second. Because I was like, there is like 1 minute you guys are not selling each other out, but it's clear that you are willing to do what's better for your game.
Are you referring to when we were on the block right before he came back?
Yes, but also kind of after. Like after once he came in, it was like clear you guys were working together. But then, like you said, he went and talked to Vanessa. We were all confused, like, wait, now he's against Steve? But then
he was hiding the rock stars and trying to make people think that we were fighting. Totally
get it. But then in diary rooms, he would be like, well, it's okay if Steve has to go. If Steve has to go, it's okay. And we're like, wait, what? I don't get it. And sometimes it seemed like that way for you too. Like you were working with him, but you were also okay to let him go for your own game, which makes sense.
I call that accurate.
How close will you say you and Johnny Mac are now? Like, are you guys good now?
We haven't talked a whole lot since the finale, but there's no hard feelings either way, even though I know he made the deal with Austin and Liz about throwing the veto in exchange for making sure that I went. But no hard feelings either way. I love Johnny Mac. He's one of my favorite people in this cast.
I have to say, of all the people, I hear 3 sets of people that fans seem to want an Amazing Race. And it is Meg and James.
That would be phenomenal.
Clelly. As a super fan, Steve, do we hate Clelly? It sounds like we're Steve vomiting.
I am shocked to hear that Clelly wasn't liked. I am absolutely shocked to hear that Clelly wasn't liked.
Oh, they were liked. I didn't mean they weren't liked. I mean, I don't like that they're going with Clelly as the name. Like I would have went with Slay or Schley or I'm just saying, Clelly doesn't really make sense to me, but I get why they had to go with it. All right. But lastly, Steve, you and Johnny Mac. People want you and Johnny Mac on Amazing Race.
I am done with reality TV. I'm done.
No, liar.
No, I'm done.
Oh, Steve.
I'm done.
If they asked you to come back for All Stars, you're done?
Yes.
Steve, I will come there and I will body snatch you and make you come back.
But I got the. I'd be setting myself up for disappointment.
No. You're playing this all wrong, Steve. I got your back. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take the I'm speaking on behalf of myself and me and not Steve. But let's say I would guess you would get money if you went back on All Stars. You would just like take that money, go back in, go crazy for a week, like make amazing crazy TV for a week, cash that check and get voted out. And then have everybody being like, wow, Steve the winner went crazy, and you're like, yeah, and I got that 25,000 and bye, my whole summer's free. That's how I would play it, Steve, if I were you. Go back.
Okay.
Do it.
No comment.
All right, there you go. Exactly.
No comment.
No comment is the right answer to that one, Steve. I am Shea Jenkins in the chat room, Steve, and I believe I saw that you met her on finale night. She's a definite fan of yours. Wants to know, how do you really feel about the Geek Squad?
The Geek Squad McGee name?
How do you
I didn't make that Twitter. My mom did.
Well, and you also didn't know what Geek Squad. Didn't you think it was Geek Squad Mickey?
Mickey, like Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I know. I would have.
That makes sense for me.
Yeah, it does make sense for you. Steve, we're going to have to talk. I didn't grab it, but I have my Disney pin collection right. We talked about it during the show. Thank you, Steve. Aside from my love of Big Brother, you allowed me to talk of my love of Disney World. Just Disney World in general. I was like, well, Steve's talking about it, so let's talk about Disney World. And then we get to do a show about Disney World. So thanks for that, Steve. What?
Glad I could help.
Good, exactly. All right. What are your thoughts on the Austin and Liz relationship?
I never saw it coming.
Right.
I was absolutely shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting that Liz wasn't aware that cameras ran in the dark. I'm not sure how she became under the impression that the cameras don't run in the dark.
Well, Steve, if you watched our show yesterday, it's because Austin told her that. She said it. Look, Liz said everything yesterday, Steve. She owned everything on the show yesterday. And I mean...
Austin told Liz.
And I mean everything.
Don't run in the dark.
That's what she said. Allegedly.
That's not true.
Allegedly. I'm going to go with allegedly, but I'm pretty sure that's what you said on the show.
Wow.
By the way, everyone, Austin will be on tomorrow night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern, where he will be clarifying these statements.
Because he would know, especially as a feeder, that is not true.
Right. Oh, we get it.
Because I can understand why it's misleading, because it is totally and completely pitch black.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I can understand why one would be under that impression, and it sometimes felt like that, and I sometimes had to remind myself, wait, even though it wasn't obvious, I had to remind myself, and I would forget sometimes.
Right.
But
I think that you guys do. I mean, I think that at some point you're going to forget about the cameras being there.
It's like if everyone ever asked me, are you on camera? Can they see you when you're in the dark? I always knew the answer to that question would be yes.
Of course it's yes. But look, I think
nowhere safe. Any word that comes out of your mouth can be heard. Anything that you do in the dark can be heard.
I know. That's why we want to know about your secrets, Steve.
Yes. I'm very sneaky.
You're very sneaky. Oh my. All right. Wait. I want to get a Twitter question first. It's from Queen Bitched, who says, Steve, what are your plans now that it's all over?
Well, I'm just kind of becoming a real human being again. I have some grad school applications to get together because those are going to be due kind of soon. I'm going to make a trip down the East Coast, go visit Harrison finally, because, I'm supposed to do that during finals, but finals happened.
Right.
And then starting my last semester at Fredonia in January. Okay. And then starting grad school in August.
When are you going to come here to help us with our audio problem?
Where are you? I have no idea where you even are.
I'm on the Long Island, Steve. I'm not that far away.
Oh, you're not far at all.
No, not far at all, Steve. We could have done this in person.
Could it?
But what? We can't. Audrey and Clay are here. They're doing Watch What Happens Live tonight on Bravo. They're behind the bar. For all you Bravo fans, they're on Watch What Happens Live tonight.
Cool. I didn't know about that.
Well, now you do. Yay. Hi, Clay. Hi, Audrey. A lot of people want to know what is your opinion of Vanessa's game? I know you probably haven't really seen the version that we've all seen, but what was your opinion from being in the house and living?
I think she's very, very good, and I think her strength is in her ability to manipulate and influence people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think she is also a large part of the reason why James went after Shelly and Clay instead of someone else in the Scamper Squad.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was scared about me and Johnny Mac being too close. She was super, because ever since Johnny Mac made the poor decision to tell Shelly and Clay that we had a final two, even though we never did.
Right.
For the record, I never said final two to Johnny Mac. We said, hey, we're rock stars. I never said, hey, let's do final two. He assumed that. The only person I ever actually said final two to was Vanessa. How much I meant that is another story, but I never said Rockstar final two. He assumed that on his own. I had no idea he was under the impression of final two until I heard it from Vanessa.
Yeah, and God, I mean, I have a horrible memory. That's like my biggest flaw in this game is how much of a horrible memory I have. So I depend on the chat room to tell me those sort of things. But I don't think you did. I don't feel like Final
two never came up until I heard it from Vanessa.
Okay.
About Johnny.
And I want to go back for 1 second. By the way, you have like thousands of people here, Steve. It's going crazy in the show room.
Thank you, guys.
I am Shea Jenkins. What is clarifying? How do you feel about the Geek Squad Army? All of your fans, Steve. Hashtag a Geek Squad Army.
I absolutely love it. I am so thankful that I have such a supporting, strong fan base. It's so strange being the one that the fan base is about instead of being the one in the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I'm so grateful to have all this support. It's absolutely amazing.
How many, she will kill me if I don't say it. I honestly think we've done how many shows. She likes to mention this every single show. I try not to give people such direct shout outs, but T-Pain Man, we're on Twitter and all of our chat rooms, wants to marry you, Steve. Wants to marry you. Lets us
I've
know
got
it.
several marriage requests.
Oh yeah, lets us know it several times. So how many people are coming after you, Steve? You must be flooded by the ladies right now. In a PC way.
A little bit.
A little bit.
In a PC way?
Well, you know, Steve, you're so innocent. It could have went dirty, is what I'm saying.
I don't know what PC. Politically correct. Okay.
Right, oh,
I
yes.
know what PC meant.
Politically
Okay.
correct. Yes, yes.
As shown by that Reddit page of listing things that I don't know. There's a lot of things like this that I don't know.
I did not even hear about this page until a little while before the show when somebody was like, people are crazy. So, Steve, were you homeschooled? Are you allowed to say?
I just lived under a rock. I didn't like socialize or have friends in high school.
Oh my God. Thanks, Steve. You just reminded me. There were 2 times you made me yell at the screen. So, my little heart was breaking for that Steve in the house. Steve was like telling the stories of I didn't have friends and I was alone. And like
That was also a lot of my fault.
Oh, well, Steve, hold on a minute. So, my heart's breaking for you. Cut to like the next week, you're in the pool and you're like, I was the teacher. I went back to my high school and I was teaching the class and I had a girlfriend. What was that about?
That was about high school. I didn't do anything social until like second semester senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Second semester was a little breaking out of my shell. Then at Cornell, everything was fantastic. Everything, the fraternity was great. That's where I was super social. That's where I had the girlfriend I talked about. And then Fredonia was a huge step backwards.
I think
So-
go ahead.
High school and Cornell was night and day socially.
I think that's what it's like for people like us, Steve. I think we're like, we go to college and then we become like, oh yeah, we can do stuff.
So, yes.
We can do stuff now. That's
Yes.
what we can do.
That's what happened.
Nikki Cochran, all the way also one of our live feed updaters, says, Steve, she's one of your future wives. And she's married, so that's gonna be awkward.
This will be interesting.
We already answered the Becky questions, everyone. We're getting a ton of Becky
The
questions.
Becky thing was blown so far out of proportion.
It was blown so far out of proportion.
I figured out, I just knew I couldn't work with her and she wouldn't talk game with me, so I assumed she was against me. That is the entire story. I love Becky as a person. She's a great friend.
I love Becky too. She seems like she has a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
Did you know in the house? I mean, we saw her telling you the train to the face story. Are you even aware how much of a storyline that was made in the comedic aspect on the edit of the show yet?
I figured it out when we were doing the breakfast, and they said, "Hey, Becky and the train." Is like the one thing we're talking about with Becky's the train. Like, really? I remember that catching us off guard, so I'm not surprised to hear that after that breakfast.
Oh, Steve, you don't even understand. I mean, like train whistle noises when she would come on. Always they would lead the episode with her telling the story about the train to the face, which would then foreshadow the end when the things would be exploding in her face. But they would always put that train whistle noise in at the end.
Yeah, that was blown. It wasn't a big deal. I mean, like, everyone knew about it, but it's like, it came out the first day. Okay, this is a thing that happened. Cool, moving on.
Yeah, it was.
It was blown big in
Toot blown. Okay. Bama Girl 3014 says, Steve, did you really throw the Final Four veto? I got a feeling on this one too. Go.
I did.
You did.
It was a very tough decision. I mean, like, we were walking out to the comp, and I still wasn't sure what I wanted to do because everything went so fast. Because Monday was the surprise eviction, then I won HOH, noms were Monday night, and that veto was early Tuesday morning, so I never really had time to think down and make the best decision.
Mm-hmm.
But what it ultimately boiled down to was, if in a me, Vanessa, Liz final three, I feel like Vanessa's going to take me, and I feel like I have a shot at Liz getting to take me. If I went to Johnny Mac with me, Johnny Mac, and Liz is going to take Johnny Mac. And Johnny Mac would be afraid with the jury because there's 4 Scamper Squad members. But if he takes Liz, there's 3 Scamper Squads and a Rockstar. So I felt like if it was me, Johnny Mac, Liz, final 3, they were both going to take each other.
Right. So
what I ultimately end up doing is I feel like when you win both those Final Four, HOH and veto, it's just asking people to not take you. And I really didn't have any strong preferences on who went and who didn't because there were just strange advantages and disadvantages each way. So you just thought, I'm going to step back. I'm going to take part of my back. And I'm going to let this be the beginning of my campaign to get someone else to take me to Final 2 if they win HOH.
Now, when you threw no, because it was before that or after that, whatever. When you had your breakdown in the HOH, Steve, again, when I loved you and you needed your hot chocolate.
I felt bad.
Okay, are you sure, Steve? Because I'm going to call you out and say I thought you were playing for America's Favorite.
No, I wasn't.
That, no?
Can I tell you why I was not playing for America's Favorite?
All right, go ahead.
Because Final 3 aren't eligible. I remember all that went down with season 14, and everyone was so shocked that Frank won. And that's when we figured out, because Dan and Ian, I remember had kind of the most votes, but Frank won because they were Final 2. And me being in Final 3, I already knew I was out of the running for America's Favorite.
Now, how do you... So you, Steve, a super fan that has the memory that I don't, has CBS ever confirmed in a way that you can say in past seasons that the Final 3 are not eligible for America's Favorite Player? Because we all tried to find that out this year, and for some reason, none of us could get a definitive answer.
What I remember is last year, I remember on Big Brother Network, they had like the fan polls for like 5 or 6 weeks in a row saying, who do you vote for America's Favorite? Mm-hmm. And Donnie had something in the high 40s, and it was glaringly obvious.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, in season 14, it was a tight race between Dan and Ian for those top 2 spots. And then here out of nowhere comes Frank winning the America's Favorite prize. So I just concluded from that, maybe not Final 3, but at least Final 2 can't win. So even if someone from the Final 2 has the most votes, it's going to go to the next person because those Final 2 already has the prize. So I can't say anything about Final 3 because Daniel Murphy was not going to win America's Favorite that year, but
right.
At least Final 2.
All right, so then I find I take it back because you were winning me over. I was like, oh my God, he's going upstairs and he wants hot chocolate.
That was not fake.
All right, good.
Genuine, because I was tired, I was exhausted, and I was making rash decisions. I still don't know if that was the right decision with the information I had at the time.
You won. It was the right decision. Newsflash, you won,
It was
Steve.
a hard decision. There was a big part of me that was like, if Vanessa's going to be great at the endurance comp, and she's a people person, so she's going to be great at the jury questions. And if she gets the Final 2, because she was working so hard at convincing everyone, oh, I can't win. Oh, the jury hates me. She had been doing that for weeks. And the one moment I'll never forget when it's like, oh, Steve, I can't win the game and I know that. But if I can't win, I at least want you to win since I feel like you're the most deserving person here. Then I'd be okay getting second to you. When she said that to me, I was like, don't buy that for a second. And that's when I lost more trust for Vanessa in that moment than any other moment. No one's ever having getting second to anyone else unless it's like Austin and Liz or something like that.
Exactly. That was what I was screaming so many times to people. I'm like, if somebody tells you they're okay with being second, if somebody tells you I can go for 10 more hours, these are lies that people are telling you. Lies.
I know.
Lies. I'd be like, I can go 20 hours, so you fall.
Because Liz, I don't know how this was portrayed. Me on the apple, it was a matter of I didn't have the strength to keep my thighs up because the thing was so slippery and sloped.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't throw anything, and then in case endurance counts for my strength, physical endurance counts, I did the best I could, but I by no means threw it. I did the best I could have done. Sounds like Liz could have gone for longer had she chosen to.
I think she could have, yeah, definitely.
I watched Vanessa talk her into dropping. I saw it happen. I was standing right there.
See, it's so hard with you because any of the things that I'd so love to challenge you on, it's like, oh, well, but Steve won, so he did it right. No matter, like, you just always win. You will
challenge me on anything.
No.
Right ahead.
No. I'm not being serious. I'm just saying, like, for example, I wanted you in that moment to be like, hey, Vanessa, shut up. I wanted you to start fighting with Vanessa and just be like, what are you making a deal, Vanessa? Liz, stay on that, Liz. Stay twice. But I get it. I mean, you obviously played it right.
Liz was an emotional player, and she spent that whole week talking about, oh, I can't wait to go to Vegas and go to party with you. And I knew 100% Liz was going to take Vanessa. I thought Vanessa was going to take me. I was like 75% confident Vanessa was going to take me over Liz.
Really?
So I was actually rooting for Vanessa to win that. So I was completely okay with her talking Liz into dropping.
So you would have been blindsided if Vanessa cut you if she would have won?
I wouldn't have been blindsided. I would have been caught off guard. I wouldn't call it like blindside means it's like, oh, I'm
right.
I was about 75% confident.
Right.
It's not like like Austin was 100%. He knew he was staying.
Right.
I would have been. I would not have been like shocked, but like, oh, really? Okay.
Okay, got it. No, that's good to know. Okay, wait, we have to have a word to our sponsors. We're being told, hey, everybody, because
Irish Spring, the zest you can taste and smell.
Oh, Irish Spring. You guys needed to get something for that. I'm just reminding everybody, because we have so many new people. Everybody, Steve's Bear, I'm trying to get it in the camera. Steve is autographing it and sending it to #1 fan. And guess what? Jennerific for the second show in a show. You're winning, Jennerific. Yay! She won Liz's bandana. She won,
nice.
Yesterday, she won Liz's bandana. Okay, Steve, oh God, it's like I'm almost afraid to risk it with how well everything's going, but let's try and listen to an audio message, a voice message for you. Okay. So here we go. Let's hope this works. It's from Wilding Tonks. We love you, Wilding Tonks.
Hi, Steve. You gave one of the best final arguments to the jury in Big Brother history, including building a great case against Liz. If you had faced Vanessa, what would your argument against her have been? Thanks, and congrats on the win.
So what would your argument have been for Vanessa? I mean, you know what I mean? The other way. What she said.
Argument would have been character, and basically, I maintained my integrity. I maintained my character. I didn't get mean. I was more social with people. I feel like I just formed better personal relationships, and I never talked down to people like Vanessa loved to. It would have been the cute, adorable little kid I've been playing the whole game. Of course you want him to win.
See, my most favorite thing, and I believe I said this to your mother, and if there's just, I know this is creepy, Steve, if there's just I guess I could just record it from the feeds. What I'm saying is, Steve, I want to be able, anytime I need to feel happy, to watch Late Night Steve. I want scampering, half dancing, like the sentences are flipping through and shit. Like, I relate to that so much, Steve. I loved it. It was my favorite. Now, that being said, I wanted the Vanessa, you're the Derek of the season speech, which would make me the Cody, which you also don't know. Then Liz was like, Liz also told her that, but said, I think she said she was the Derek.
The code.
Oh, did
Liz
she
said
say
that Liz was the?
No.
Wait, what? I don't know what you're.
You said in your speech that you were practicing, you didn't want to be the Cody, that Vanessa was the Derek and you didn't want to be the Cody. I'm saying I wanted that speech to happen, which it kind of
Derek
did.
told me he was very happy it didn't.
Oh, he was happy it didn't?
Yes.
Well, oh, because he's BFFs with Cody.
Because Liz also isn't Victoria. Liz is much more competent at everything than Victoria is. And I think that's not a fair comparison at all.
Well, I don't think it is either, but I just thought it was funny that then, like, on the other side of the house, there is Vanessa and Liz having the conversation, but Liz was saying she was the Cody, but her Cody was making the right choice, Cody, is my point. Like, whereas you were saying, I don't want to be the Cody because he made the mistake.
And Liz was saying, I want to be the Cody.
And Liz was saying she wanted to be the Cody because I made such good moves.
Cody lost.
Here's the thing, Steve. Can you have my back on this? Because I know it sounds like we're shit talking Cody right now, but don't
No,
you?
I love Cody. I do.
And me too. And I feel like people don't understand. He didn't have the information we all had watching the show.
That's not true. I think one of my biggest strengths in the game was Vanessa was playing everyone else, but I was playing her. The comparison I kind of made in my head was like Russell Hands in Survivor Samoa. I saw how when someone went against Vanessa, there was that person who went. So my job was to be the blindly loyal Linian. That's why I grew the beard. That's why I did the hair. That's why I did all her fashion. That's why I just let her talk to me however she wanted, and I always blindly agreed with every word that was coming out of her mouth. I wanted Vanessa to feel like she could completely control me because she wants to go to the end with the people she can most control, so that if she doesn't win that final HOH, she wants to be with the people she's most confident are going to take her. And I spent the entire game convincing her, I'm going to take you to final two.
And that's why, and I think that's hard that people don't really understand that. And that's why
That's what I said in my preseason interviews. Go back and watch.
Exactly. We know you
That's
did.
exactly what I said I was going to do. I'm going to find that powerful player, be their minion at the end.
Right, exactly. And that's a game that I'm glad that you are now talking about, because I think it's one that's hard for people to kind of understand because they just see it as, oh, Steve wasn't doing a lot, or that he didn't, do
I was
enough.
playing the person that was playing everyone else.
Exactly, which is the brilliant way to play it. And again, you don't want to be out there. Like, you made under the radar moves before jury, and then after jury, you came down and kicked ass. Like, at the end of the game, Steve, you were like, I won it, HOH, that, like, back to back. Like, you won them perfectly at the end, which is, hey, it's the most important time to win them all, is what it is.
Final HOH?
Oh, yeah. Final HOH.
yeah.
Steve, I almost had a heart attack on the final HOH.
Yeah, you almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, Steve, this is about me right now.
Okay.
When you got that first question, because again, I have said all season, I thought Vanessa was going to win. She did so much stuff, but also, we knew Vanessa was worth $4.5 million. So then Eric is like, oh, but I want Steve to win. This will change his life.
His life.
When you got that first one right, I was like, oh my God, Steve's gonna do. And I'm like, shut up. I'm like, stop asking questions, Julie. Stop it. Stop. He's winning, Julie. Stop.
I did by one question.
I swear people had to correct me. Again, I seem to have a horrible short-term memory. Everyone's like, Eric, she said how many questions she was asking in the beginning. I was like, no, she didn't. She kept adding more to help Vanessa.
She asked one question for every juror.
I know. That's what I said too. And then
It went from 6 to 8 questions from 14 to 15 when the jury went to 9, but
did
6 questions up until 14 and then 8 questions up since 15.
In that moment, in that moment when you won that part 3 HOH, did you just feel it like, okay, I just won the game, or were you still nervous about the jury?
I would have been really upset if I didn't have it because I knew I deserved that one over Liz big time.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we all knew it. As soon as you won that, I was like, oh my God, Steve just won. Like, Steve just completely won this game when...
My mom was in the audience. She thinks she had Frankie and Jesse and Jeff. She had a lot of vets around her. And they were all like, congratulations on the win right after I won that HOH.
Yeah, it was so...
It sounds like everyone knew I won as soon as I got out. As the Tiger Pelt, as Johnny Mac called her.
Yeah, because... all season long, again, we saw in the edit Vanessa getting credit for every single...
And I don't want to... She did a lot of really great things, but I think she got credit for more than what she did.
I completely agree. I think Vanessa did a ton of stuff in this game, and that's why I said all season, like, oh my God, if we're going on who did the most, until the end, I kind of feel like you did take her over in what you were doing, 100%.
3 HOH comps I played in.
Exactly. But wait until you watch it back, Steve. I don't remember when this has ever happened before. They literally put everybody's face on the screen in black and white and was like, Vanessa got rid of them. Vanessa got rid of... Like, everybody, all of jury. They gave her credit for all of jury being out. And I was just like, wow. All of jury.
She did a lot, and I don't want to take that away from her.
No, she did. I agree.
The show gave her more than what she did.
Yeah,
But she still did a lot.
She 100% did. It was weird that it was like they weren't focusing. And you'll see when you watch it back, even Julie, when it was like Final Four, she was like, let's see what, she would like start the show and then go, let's see what Vanessa's doing tonight. And I'm like, there are other people in the game. Why are we only looking at what Vanessa's doing tonight? But it is funny. It is definitely funny. Okay. Did you know going in, Ice, Jill, and Sky wants to know, did you feel like going in you were gonna win? Like, yep, I got this, I'm gonna win.
Oh, absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not. I was an easy early target. I mean, to quote Ian Terry, the person who goes home in the first week is that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that'd be a problem for me. I did everything I could to not be that guy, and I did kind of become that guy. Thank you, Jace, for being even louder than I was.
Little Jace.
And thank you, Trombonist. Thank you to the camera comp.
Hey, well, exactly. Thank you, Trombonist. All right, let's take another audio question from you. It's from Michelle.
Hey, my question for Steve is, during week 2, I believe, you had formed SOS with Vanessa. Did you actually want that to be a relationship that you carried throughout the game when you originally made it? Or were you just trying to build any bridge and just say yes to any alliance during that period? Love to hear your thoughts. Bye.
So, SOS Alliance, what were your thoughts?
The answer is yes to both of them. I was also building any bridge I could, and because I was the first person to tell Vanessa about the twin twist. And also, I kind of saw her as the dominant player. I didn't predict the magnitude, but I had a feeling that she's going to have an influence on the game similar to what she did. And as I said, coming in, I want to find that strong player, hide under them, play the role of that blindly loyal minion so they think they can control me. And I kind of figured out that player for me was going to be Vanessa.
Mm-hmm. So, and okay. I want to take this last, and I hope we didn't already answer this, but I know that this is one of your big fans from this season. It's, I think, Aisha is how you say her name, but let's hear her question for you, Steve.
Hi, Eric. Hi, Steve. This is Asia from Houston, Texas.
Asia.
Congratulations, Steve. And I have a question for you. You were put in a position where you had to win part 3 to be in the final 2, since Vanessa wasn't going to take you. What do you think you could have done differently towards the end of the game that would have put yourself in a position to not have to win part 3 to be in the final 2? Thanks.
So is there anything you could have done to put yourself in a better position in the game, winner?
I can't imagine, because I feel like it would have been, even if I had won that veto, like, who could I have gotten rid of where I wouldn't have been in that spot?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I had been there with me, Liz, and Johnny Mac were going to take each other, because Johnny Mac needed me on the jury if he wanted a shot at winning with Scamper Squad there.
Mm-hmm.
And me, John, Vanessa final 2. Vanessa would have taken Johnny. Johnny probably would have taken Vanessa again to put me on jury since Johnny would have been scared of 4 Scamper Squad votes.
Okay, so wait, would you, if you could have had it any way you wanted it, but let's take Liz out of the equation, who would you have wanted to go to the final 2 with if you could have gone with anybody you wanted?
As of how late in the game?
Anytime. Or fine, let's go with final 6.
Johnny Mac, because he never won HOH.
Oh, so you would have brought Johnny Mac all the way to the end with you?
Not out of loyalty, out of he never won HOH.
Just because you knew you could have beat him and you would have wanted him to have
I
second
think it would have
place.
been the next easiest to beat.
Oh, okay, good. I like that. Would you ever let Johnny Mac work on your teeth?
I know the personal him and not the professional him, and I have a feeling those are 2 very different people.
I agree, but I think both people have shaky hands and are a touch muppety, and I'm going to call him
Well,
on it.
I mean, he got certified. So he's like a qualified dentist to do his job. He went through dental school and did all the stuff you have to do to become a dentist. So,
Okay. I can't wait to have him on. That was my joke all season. Like, because you guys know, screaming in the diary room nonstop. That Johnny. Oh my God. He's just the whole time. I'm like, I don't know if I want that coming at my face with a drill.
He really is.
He is. He was definitely.
He had me 100% fooled about knowing the show. 100%.
Well, look, he kept saying he was a super fan. We're going to have to quiz him because I'm not buying it yet. I mean,
really?
Well, he told us he was a super fan, but, you know, he didn't, because he never talked about any of the show to you guys, we don't really know that. He could just
you have recruits who say, I've been a really dedicated fan, and I know this super well from watching it over the last 2 months, because you always have the recruits come on and say that.
Oh, you mean Clay? Because that was it word for word.
Did you say I'm a super fan?
Yep.
I've been a Superman for the last couple of months.
Exactly. He said I was a diehard fan and I love the show so much. I blah, 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 blah. And then was like, Jeff said, oh, yeah, so what season? He's like, well, I just started watching all of them back last month or something. I was like, oh, recruit, you cute recruit. I love that. I love that little Clay, though. How can you not like Clay? But speaking of people in your cast, Jordan Ament wants to know from the chat room, who do you plan on keeping touch with, or who do you think you'll stay in touch with the most?
I really actually like a lot of one of the good and bad things about my personality is that I don't find things annoying and I don't dislike people, which is great because it makes me like people, but it sucks because I have no sense of what's annoying because nothing annoys me. So I'm open to be kind of close with everyone. I mean, it's kind of going to come down to them. I have no grudges I hold.
Okay. Now, we talked to your mom a little bit about this. This seemed to be a tone a few times in the season. A lot of people said they felt like Austin was bullying you at times. We saw Vanessa, which I get from a strategic standpoint. She was trying to like intimidate you in that have not room and stuff. How do you feel about those situations in the house?
The Vanessa situation, again, comes down to I had to make her think she completely controlled me because it was as soon as she realized I was questioning her and didn't trust her that I would go out the door. So it was just I could not let Vanessa know I had any doubt about her until I had her.
Let me rephrase. Did you feel like they were bullying you? Did you feel like Vanessa was, like, I know you had to play it that she could control you, but in the game, did you feel like Austin or Vanessa was like bullying you?
Vanessa, I don't think she was bullying me. I think she just wanted to make sure she was in charge.
I agree.
Austin was just playing up to hide the Scamper Squad. And it was something we talked about behind closed doors. And I don't think, to the best of my knowledge, it was all planned strategy to hide our relationship.
Right. Well, okay, you'll watch the show back.
Do you disagree?
Do I disagree with you? No, I don't think. Look, you know how people are in the house, Steve. Like, people say stuff, people talk. Like, I feel like everybody. I guess you didn't, so you can't say everybody. So I think a lot of people are going after whatever they can go after when it comes to people.
I never said that mean. I never said anything mean.
I can't. Well, if you did, I wouldn't remember. But I remember your mom seemed upset about things Austin and Liz were saying, but I don't necessarily remember exactly what it is. I mean, as your mom should. My mom would be upset too if anybody said
She had a very hard summer.
Well, I know.
Probably harder than I did.
Well, you have 500,000 things to make up for it with.
I do.
So she's going to be good. She's going to be good. What about the way, how about this then? We'll flip it to, I think, something that was more direct. What about the Jace thing in the beginning of the season? Like, a lot of people felt like Jace was talking down to you. I think it was the hammock.
You're talking about the conversation where you told me about Geek Squad McGee in the hammock room.
In the hammock room. How did you feel about that convo?
That is so funny. Because if you had to ask me my 5 worst moments from the first week, that wouldn't have been in that list. I never thought anything of it after. That was most. It was James the first night told me he was nominating me. First night.
Mm-hmm.
That scared me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those conversations with James and Jason intimidating me, and I am so amused that that conversation. I'm sorry, I'm hearing myself. It is weird.
Oh.
It's that conversation with Jace is what stood out. I never would have guessed.
All right, so
I feel like James and Jason were both much worse to me in that first week than Jace was.
okay. What about then Judy in New York says, going off of that then, what was your most stressful moment in the house? Or what was the moment in the house that upset you the most?
That I did or that happened or that someone else did?
Whatever you want. What was the most stressful moment in the house? Let's say that happened to you. Let's go with that happened to you.
Probably that first night when James told me he was putting me up.
Really?
Like literally, it was about 6 a.m. Because everyone was up because it was the first night in the house, and James told me he was putting me up.
What is your relationship now like with Jason? We know in the house that you were kind of going after him because superfan, and there can only be one.
I wasn't going after him. He was coming after me, and I had to act in defense. Again, my entire pre-jury philosophy was only defense. I was only going to go after someone if they made me come after them. And Jason did that. I didn't want to go after him, but he made me.
Okay. If he didn't make you, is that somebody you would have wanted to work with in this game, or would you? Oh, it is somebody you wanted to work with in this game. Okay.
I would love to have had a close. And Davon.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you next. I feel like probably the people watching have watched your interview with, I think it was Jeff, but I see a lot of people asking it in the chat room. Why did you, in the beginning of the season with Devon, why did you say you wanted to be her eyes and ears and stuff like that? What was the strategy there?
I never said that.
You didn't?
No.
You sure?
Yes, 100%.
You didn't want to be like the Danielle and which is where I was going.
You made the Danielle Jason comparison, yes.
Right.
That does not mean being her mole.
Okay. All right then. There you go, everybody.
I didn't think of it that way. I just thought, hey, we can work together. I never said the Danielle Jason comparison was made.
Right.
I never said I'm gonna be your mole. I'm gonna be your rat. I know Davon said that to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea where that came from. For me.
Well, we'll never know because there's no live feeds the first 2 weeks. Hey, CBS, we want live feeds the first 2 weeks, and we want Jury House feeds. One day we're going to get those.
Because Jury House, because that's where people can talk to each other, like actually.
Well, Steve, I could make... Well, no, I won't. Forget it, actually. I'll just say stay tuned, everybody. Anything can happen. You never know. Maybe they'll listen to us one year, like next year. How was it meeting one of your biggest fans, one of our favorite people on this show, Christine Pracht? Christine.
It was so awesome because I will say this, because I can say this now. I'm talking strictly personally, not game, not strategy. My favorite house guest last year was Christine. And I am the only person in the country who feels that way. I know it was another fan poll that ran alongside the America's Favorite poll. I remember seeing Joey got more votes than Christine. And yeah, I'm the one and only Christine fan.
You're the number 2, Steve. We're huge Christine fans. Hello.
Really? She got so much hate, and I feel like it's completely unwarranted.
Okay, Steve, you're not that big of a fan of our show anymore. Because we had Christine on all the time. Like, Christine is basically a co-host here.
I was in the house.
Oh, you're talking about oh, you mean in the house you were the only one that liked Christine?
Yeah, most of the country hated Christine.
Oh, right, most of the country. I agree. Oh, she's going to love this conversation. Christine, we love you is the point.
Yeah, I love her too. I haven't seen anything.
No, you did it.
I saw something about co-hosting, but I'm a Christine fan.
Let's talk about this. Right. Christine loves you is the point. I know you love her, and everyone was saying how exciting was it for you to meet her. Everyone wants you two on one of these shows together. So whether it's with us, whether you end up on You Now, with like, you guys got to get together somehow because everybody wants to see you two together. But now let me ask you this. We'll be careful about it. So there was some stuff that went down where, I don't know, I think you weren't saying anything at all bad, but I really don't remember specifically, about Gina Marie in the house, and then she did not like it. And she may have taken it bad and was mean to your mom. Do you just want to is there anything you want to say about it? Let's put it this way. I'm going to help you out with it this way. Ready? Answer these questions, Steve. Do you like Gina Marie as the player? Steve, it's me.
I think she made a very good move in putting up Miranda. It was something that needed to be due, and I think it was great that she had the balls to finally be the person to split up Miranda.
Okay. And there you go. That's positive. Gina Marie, hi. I think that was good. You know, Gina Marie just...
I mean, I made the same move she made.
What?
Like, literally, my Final HOH was based off of her HOH. And if Ballerina didn't show that...
Mm-hmm. What did you think in Ballerina when Vanessa got Liz or Julia, I can never tell them apart, to put up Austin? Brilliant.
Hats off to Vanessa.
Were you just like floored in that moment? Like when you were...
I had no idea why. I didn't realize it was Vanessa's doing until after. I'm like, she's good.
That is a moment where, like, I know I'm struggling to be like, oh, let's find one specific Vanessa thing. That was brilliant. Like, you don't even know. They were going to blow Vanessa out of that water after that POV, like when you watch it back.
And then she went to the hammock with Austin, and then everything was cool.
That was where I say she played the best game. You as a fan will love it. See, the way she worked it.
As it was happening.
Oh, it happens.
And that's why when it came down to, like, the twins were on the block, and it's like, we got to get rid of Liz. And then the twins told me, hey, we decided Julia's going. And then Johnny Mac and Vanessa told me, hey, they told us about Julius was doing that. It's like, what are you thinking? Mm-hmm. But it was like, again, one of my biggest strengths in this game is I knew what my strengths were, and I knew what my weaknesses were.
Right.
And I knew I didn't have the gift of gab that Vanessa had. I was only going to end up shooting myself in the face if I decided to try to turn it. So, no, I was never okay with Julie going over Liz, but there was nothing I could do, and I knew that if I tried, it would have blown up. Vanessa could have flipped it had she chosen to. She does have that gift of gab. Unfortunately, it wasn't my strength in the game, so I knew I couldn't pull that off.
I am not convinced that Vanessa doesn't secrete a pheromone that makes you believe anything she says. I refuse to call it mist. And I think she steals people's souls and sticks it under her hat, and then she owns you.
Good.
Yeah. But not you, Steve.
I was shocked that somehow in that conversation in the hammock room, because Austin, a very angry Austin, pulled Vanessa into the hammock room after that veto comp, and they talked, and they came out, and Austin told me everything was cool. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't the whole... Here's the thing. I was wholeheartedly aware of what was going on the entire time. I saw what Vanessa was doing, but there was nothing I could do about it.
Right. Exactly.
Because as soon as you stand to Vanessa, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't say anything bad about Vanessa, and I had to be convince her I was completely under control until I knew I had her.
Right. Right, exactly. I feel so bad, Steve. I know it's wireless. I know Skype on wireless makes an echo. I'm sorry. I feel so bad that you have
That's
echo.
my fault, not your fault.
I know. I apologize. Okay. Let's try and fire through some of these questions. Let's bring up one from Anna Visconti. Says, Steve, have you watched or do you plan on watching any episodes this season?
I've poked through a little bit of content. I watched the finale. I've watched the first couple episodes. Have not seen a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I want to because it sounds like I got a really disappointing edit pre-double eviction with Jackie. But I have not. I'm in no rush because I feel like I know a lot of bad things were said about me behind my back in the first couple of weeks. I'm not sure I'm ready to see that yet.
Here, I'll wait for you to put your headphones on. I'll wait for you to put them on. Here's what I think. I think this is great advice, and I wish I could remember who to give credit to it for. Somebody said watch it backwards. But
That's for people who are evicted, so because it has the sad ending, the happy beginning, that doesn't apply to me.
I know. I thought of it as I was saying it. I was like, because you want to start with the bad, but you won. So right, Steve. Watch from the beginning.
I think for Vanessa and Liz and all them, everyone but the winner, watch backwards.
Well, speaking of winning, B. Garrett 813 wants to know, what was your favorite competition to play in, and what was your least favorite competition to play in?
Favorite was definitely the crossword. That was so fun being like half the weight I usually am. Because I think I had like something like 100-pound weight hanging on the other side, so flying up the board was super easy. It was much easier than had I just been climbing up, so that was a lot of fun. Love the crossword. The endurance comp sucked. As you can, I didn't like them and they didn't like me. I mean, I beat Julia in Disneyland, and aside from that, I was last place in every endurance comp I competed in. Because the thing is, if it came down to a how bad do you want it type comp, I would have been fine. UFO No, there was nothing else I could have done. Mm-hmm. On the Edge, there was nothing else I could have done. Disneyland, there was nothing else I could have done. And on the Apples, I was like so happy because this is something I can win because there was no strength. It was just how long can you take this crap for? And then they moved us to the Apples, and as soon as we were down the Apples, I knew I was screwed.
Right. Well, look, Steve, again, you won.
I missed those competitions. I remember like when season 5, when it was like the button on the mouth, that's the endurance comp I want. And we never got, or like the cage from season 6 where Jennifer swore on her life to case her. That's what I've been hoping for, and I never got that.
Oh, hi, chat room. Steve, exactly what I said this season. I said 5 times, bring the damn cage back. I want the cage.
Yes, I would have won the cage.
Exactly.
I won that cage 100%. But none of these endurance comps were how bad do you want it. It was all how long can you do this thing for.
Right. And apparently not long.
I was up there for over 3 hours.
The Apple, you guys nailed it. Every other one, your season was painted as nobody knows what endurance competition means. They were all kind of super short, weren't they?
The thing is, had I even went out, I would have had no regrets about the Apple because I could not have stayed on that Apple 1 second longer than I did. It was all my legs because it was all that strength having to keep your legs together, and I just...
Yeah, as soon as I saw that comp, like, you know how there's always those conspiracy theories, like the wall isn't good for people with big feet. Like, you have to have little feet when you're on the wall. Helen was pushed. That challenge...
Or she tapped twice and got $10,000 and threw it or something. I remember hearing about that.
Mm-hmm. As soon as I saw that ball, I was like, this is made for girls. Like, girls will do better on this because of that. Like, it's a lot of, like, the leg strength. And I'm just going to keep it at that. But I was like, Steve got the next one. I know he will. I thought it was going to be a pyramid. I liked crossword puzzle, but who cares what I think? Because Radley B says, Steve, have you had any funny fan encounters since you've been out?
I mean, nothing particular. I've some marriage proposals, some date requests. I got asked for a kiss a couple of times. Mm-hmm. It was just strange because, like, I was in LAX and a whole bunch of people recognized me, and I transferred through Philadelphia, I believed, and a whole bunch in Philadelphia recognized. I was calling some family while we were in Philadelphia, and I went and talking about the game, and I kind of went alone in a corner so that no one would like bother me or recognize me. So then I turn around and there's a line of people waiting to talk to me after I hung up. It's been crazy.
See, you handled it, or you are handling it a lot better, I see, than and Ian did handle it. Like, I will never forget, that was my first year with Superpass, and I remember when they shoved Steve into that fan finale, not Steve, Ian, into that party. His poor
We're gonna have serious issues.
I know.
I've been compared to Ian plenty enough already.
I know.
Becky did it all summer.
Look, don't worry. I think when you watch the shows back, you're gonna find that's something a lot of people said. Like,
I was aware of that about 30 seconds after the season 14 cast was revealed.
Honestly, though, Steve, a lot of people killed it. A lot of people said, like, they kind of turned it to in the middle of the season, they wanted you to be Ian. Like, a lot of people weren't understanding you're laying low. Then you didn't go to the side of the house we all wanted you to go to, Steve, and that pissed everybody off. But
I was on the side with the Freaks and Geeks and the Scamper Squad. I mean, it just wasn't with the Goblins.
You went with the rights. I get where you went. I'm the voice of the people, Steve. But here, speaking of the voice of or I should say, I'm the voice of the people in our chat rooms. I don't mean I'm the voice of all fans. Spring Curls wants to know, overall, Steve, would you say the game was easy for you or hard for you?
Anyone who tells you the game was easy for them is lying.
Oh,
I mean, it's not easy. I mean, like it's a less violent version of the Hunger Games. Essentially, it's a dog eat dog game, and it sucks that even your closest friend is just someone who you want to fail later rather than sooner.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Steve. Hold on. I see chat room. Chat room is saying all of a sudden our audio just got all weird. So let me try something. Okay, and you are going to sell phone calls on eBay, right? That's how you're doing it?
Skype calls.
Skype calls on eBay, and then 100% of that is going to that charity.
Yes.
And we will put the links on our website, yourrealityrecaps.
I just have no idea what the reasonable price point or how to do that.
If you're doing 100% of it for charity, Steve, then I say shoot for the moon. Start it at what does Liza do hers for? Doesn't Liza charge $100 for hers? And she gives it all to charity. I would say ask Liza from Canada what she does, because she does that exact same thing.
I didn't know she did that.
She gives 100% of it to Reality Rally.
Yeah,
so
100% of these proceeds will go to buy food for these kids who might not have food over these weekends otherwise in my hometown.
So here's what I will say, chat room, because I know it might be hard for you later to come to the website and find this amazing interview with Steve. Here is what I will do. If you guys go to yourrealityrecaps.com/Steve, it will automatically forward you to Steve's eBay account where those auctions are listed. So that'll...
Okay. I should really put those up at some point. I haven't done that yet.
When Steve does it. So thank you for clarifying. If it's not there when you do it, it might be coming. I'm just trying to make it an easy way for them to find it without trying to hunt for it.
Or just search on eBay because there's...
Or just search on eBay. Or just search on eBay is 100%.
I'll tweet about it when I send it out.
There you go.
I put them up this week.
And we will retweet it, of course, as well. Terry Zate loves your mom's charity. And by the way, was just far and away your hugest top fan in that last show. I actually think such a huge fan, you have to say hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
There you go. Sue's your number one fan. Think she's getting that bear, Steve. And she's good. And I will say, Terry, I do know Terry, and she does a lot for Big Brother players charities all the time. She always supports Big Brother player charities. So that being said,
proceeds to my community.
Exactly. It's just very clear about that. All right. I think we've let everybody come back in. I think we are good. So that being said, Lulu in the chat room wants to know, Steve, what do you think of Nerdmance? So I'm going to go with that was you and Johnny Mac, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the edit?
No. I will say that neither myself nor Johnny Mac came up with that term.
Oh.
I won't say who did, but it was not me or Johnny Mac.
Okay. At chat room, I guess we all know who it is. Go ahead. Interesting.
I mean, I get it because you can't call it a bromance because that makes you think of Zanky, and they were a bit more intimate than
Oh my
Johnny
God,
Mac and
I just dug you out of the Gina Marie hall. Are you going to go into Sankey Hall?
I didn't say anything bad.
Well, you didn't say anything bad about Gina Marie either, but...
I said that Johnny Mac and I were less intimate
What are
than
you...
Zanky was.
Were you a Zanky fan? Let me ask you this. Were you a Zanky fan?
Yeah, I was.
Do you think that Zach or Frankie would go back for All-Stars?
Yes.
Who do you think from your season, not including you, would go back for All-Stars? Who do you think they would ask back? Like, if you could pick, like, if you got to decide who from your cast got to go be on All-Stars. I'm also going to take Vanessa off the table because I feel like Vanessa's the most obvious choice for that.
How many names do I get?
You get one. You get one pick, and it can't be Vanessa or yourself. Who is...
Audrey.
Audrey. Okay, great. I'm glad that you brought up Audrey. I saw a lot of the chat room.
Ooh, I want to say, Dave, I always wish All-Stars was more people who were evicted early and didn't have a chance. Like, I would love to see Jody. I would love to see Nick Uhas. I'd love to see Alex from season 9. You know, I'd love to see more of those early or Angie from season 10. I'd love to see more of those early evicts who were kind of given a raw deal.
On what season again?
Angie, season 10.
No. I mean, you want to see them all back on a what season?
I would love to see more All-Stars for people who were evicted early and didn't get too much of a chance on their own season.
Right. I was going with the fact that you used the word All-Star with those names. So here's my thing, Steve. I agree with you. I want to see them back as well.
It wouldn't be an All-Star season. It would be a second chances season.
There you go. I'm all for a second chances season with these people. But when everybody's like, I want an All-Stars with the people eliminated first, I'm like, that would be the opposite of All-Star
that
day.
Very good clarification. I would love to see a second chances season for players who I think had a lot of potential but didn't make it far.
And I think that's a great thing for CBS. I think in a way it almost gives them 2 all-star seasons, the people that will consider that to be all-star-ish. And that's got to be easy. You should be able to get those first players out.
I'd love to see Davon, Jason, Audrey, all 3 great players. I think I'd love to see play again.
Did you hear about Les Moonves's article?
No, I haven't.
Well, let's just say he said this season that he was not happy with some of the people that were chosen to play this season. And I'll say that article came out after the people you just named were evicted or, sent home from the game. Meaning, people that are reading into it on Twitter are saying that they don't seem to be happy with how far Audrey went in the game, or that she blanketed to nothing and kind of just let her game fizzle out, or that Jason let his game fizzle out, is what it seemed like if you were reading in between the lines he was saying. So
okay.
And Robin.
If you're talking, then they wouldn't be all-stars. Then the people I just
second chances. You're saying you want them to be all-stars?
Second chances.
Second chances.
I would love to see a Big Brother second chance this season. I would love to see all 3 of them on it. I'd love to see Nick Uhas on it. I'd love to see Jody on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'd love to see Cassie on it. Season 13.
Oh.
Annie Whittington. People like that.
Saboteur.
Yes.
Saboteur. Yeah, I would love her.
I'd love to see Annie again.
Speaking of Jody, I know you're a huge Jody fan.
Yes.
Did she meet up with you? Because I know she's been trying to badly. Has she not?
I haven't heard a word from her.
She probably didn't make it down. She was trying, or I saw on Twitter that she was trying to meet you at Rachel's party because she's such a huge fan. Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I'm a huge Jody fan. I remember in High Maintenance, there was a picture of Jody as one of the objects in the room, and I tried to take it in the house with me, and they didn't let me. I wanted that picture of Jody so bad.
Oh, she knows. We were all she was talking about it so much. I think that's when she was really on your side. I should also tell you, I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. I told your mom. We did cast assessment before the season started with Danielle Reyes, and guess who she picked to win the game? Mm-hmm.
Well, I was really talking her up in everything I did preseason. I'm a huge Danielle Reyes fan.
That's probably why she did it.
Oh, I'm aware. I think she picked me more because of what a big because no one's talked about her in years, and then you had me and Davon both pop up this year talking about how much we love her.
She was. We love that Danielle Reyes. Okay, I think everybody is back. We seem to have all the people back we had before. So for the last time, I'm reminding you, and then I'm putting him back away, and we're going to get more into game now. But you can win an autograph bear from Steve. Just be the #1 fan. So far, it's still you, Terry. So far, it's far and away still you. But you guys just become a #1 fan for this show, and you guys get Steve's Bear autograph sent lovingly to you. Okay, now, Steve. Steve. Here's what we want to know. What was it like for you being in the house? For us as fans watching, everyone seemed to go crazy. I was at Adam's New York premiere party when Audrey came out and said, I'm the first transgender person to play this game. Was that like, I mean, we saw you guys all clapping and all, oh yay, in the house, but like, did you get that as a super fan that was kind of a big deal?
Oh yeah.
Or you did?
I'm sure that was a huge part of how she got on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's a huge part of getting she on the show, but she has a beautiful story and I'm so happy she got to tell it.
I liked watching her tell this story to you as well, which was, I think, good learning point for a lot of people. Jason in the chat room wants to say, how long do you feel the Disneyland contest lasted? Because it seemed to be that people were saying it only lasted for like 10 or 15 minutes. Do you feel like it went on?
I would say 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. 10 or 15 minutes.
I'd say that's accurate. I went in saying second shortest endurance comp in BB history, second only to Mount HOH from All Stars.
Yes, which you did. I was like, oh, that's right. I was like, thank God Steve's in there. You and Jason are great for my memory of this game.
Jason's fantastic. It was really fun getting to talk with him.
I think you will love him. Now that the season's over and
now that we're not competing against each other.
Now that you're not competing in a game, where's the game, Steve? In a parking lot.
It is in a parking lot.
Right, exactly. Steve, a lot of people also want to know what's going on with hashtag Stulia, as in Steve and Julia.
I never heard of that hashtag until just now.
You're welcome.
Oh, I mean, yes, I enjoyed her company. I did enjoy flirting with her in the house.
Would your mom approve of a Julia and Steve relationship?
I don't know, but the thing is, like, it was never anything like super serious. I really enjoy her company. I don't have a bad word to say about her. I don't see a long distance relationship coming anytime soon.
But Steve, we got her to do lots of Stevas on the shows.
Yeah, Liz did that too.
They both did, right? They both.
I would count down 3, 2, 1, and then they would say it.
I can't believe what was going through your mind, or did it click into place? I know it's easy for us watching in on it. For me, it was driving me crazy that Liz never talked game to you in that final 3. She had a million chances. She was alone with you. Never once. Did that in your mind make you think she must know Vanessa's taking her? Or
she must know I'm taking Vanessa.
You thought that meant she knew you were taking Vanessa. Okay. Yes.
I wasn't really convinced that I was about 75% confident Vanessa was going to take me if she won.
Right.
That's why I was completely okay in part 1 when Vanessa was talking Liz down. I was okay with it because my goal was to keep Liz out of part 3. Because as someone pointed before, the goal is to make it so you don't have to win part 3. And I think by keeping Liz out of part 3, I thought that'd be the case.
Right. My
goal was to keep Liz out of part 3 since I knew Liz was going to take Vanessa a million times over. And I thought Vanessa would take me. Because Vanessa was thinking strategically and Liz was thinking fun in Vegas.
Right. Oh, precious. Which is what I didn't like. Which is where I was going crazy with it, because I was like, oh my God, here are these 2 people. Here's Vanessa and Steve. And it's killing me that they're not going to go to final 2 together.
And I can totally. It was it Survivor Cagayan where everyone wanted Spencer and Tony, but there was no scenario where that happened.
Right. And you couldn't. Like, I get it. I get it didn't make sense for either of you.
But it would have been the epic showdown. I know.
I wasn't even
exactly why. There's no way it ever would have happened.
right. And that's the part that we got to sell it to people. Not sell it, but explain it. Like, people don't get that. Like, people are just, we wanted it, so why isn't it happening?
Why would it have been advantageous for me to take Vanessa?
It wouldn't.
Wouldn't have been.
What did you think of Derek's game? Were you a fan of Derek's game?
He absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Exactly.
One of the best games that Big Brother's ever seen.
I 100% agree, and that's why 100% agree. I'm sorry, chat room. Everybody wants me to say to you, I didn't bring it down here. All season, oh no, not all season long, Steve. I'm sorry, I'll be very clear. When you didn't go to the other side of the house like I wanted you to, I'm just going to put it all on me now, and I understand why you didn't. Comedic recaps, we need things for jokes. I took your Orange Alliance member, and I had your orange here. And I was torturing your because you probably don't know that on the show, they always edited you with your oranges. You were within oranges a lot. So I said that I broke into the house and I stole your orange, and he was your Alliance member, and then we tortured him on the show. And everybody
you were mad I sided with the Scammer Squad instead of the Goblins.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like the Goblins were the more liked Alliance.
Well, definitely James was liked. Obviously, we saw he won America's Favorite Player.
And according to Jokers and also Meg, James, Meg, Jackie, and Becky were all more popular, or at least higher on Jokers than the twins and Austin and Vanessa.
I gotta be honest. Sorry, Jokers. I know a lot of people for Jokers are on here right now. I don't really go there. Obviously, I can't. I'm pumping out like 2 shows a day, so I don't have a lot of time to check that out. But I will say this. The tone of Meg overall was she thought she was at camp, so I don't really see a lot of people thinking that Meg
was higher than me on Jokers. And if I'm
really,
I could be recalling wrong. I'm actually checking it right now because I'm kind of curious, but I'm quite confident that Meg. I won't check it now, but I'm pretty sure that Meg was higher than me the whole season.
Reality TV gal says yes, that's correct. They were higher. James and Meg were great. I think James and Meg were great too. Chat room. I think they were great too. We were whatever.
Meg and James were great.
We love them. Okay. What was your... I'm just going to skip over that because the chat room is now going crazy. Were you surprised, speaking of Jokers, were you surprised, Jennerific wants to know, by where Austin and the twins ranked, like you said, lower in the rank?
People who America hates are the people who are convinced America's sweethearts.
Right.
Every year. Every year. I don't think there's a single exception to that rule.
No.
And when Austin was telling me that, America's going to hate you if you put me up, it's like, that means America's probably going to love me if I put you up, if you're actually convinced America's going to hate me if I put you up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember how much America was going to love April and Ollie, and we all know how that ended.
Well, exactly. We all know how that ended. Okay. Now, Steve, I know we're all getting comfortable and we're all settling in. Now here's what you have to do, because I'm looking out for you. Okay. You have to tilt your camera down because you're becoming floating head to people. Okay, a little higher. Perfect. Good. Brilliant. I just didn't want you to like watch the show back and be like floating head. So there we go. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Who do you think, and I'm sorry, chat room, I'll ask your question when I see it go flying by. Who do you think played the best game after your game? Chat room wants to know.
Aside, discounting me, who played the best game?
Correct. So after your game, who do you think played the best game?
Really? I mean, Vanessa.
We just have to incorporate the chat room sometimes, Steve. Vanessa, I agree.
100 million%. Had I been on jury, that would have been the easiest decision I made all summer.
Yeah, I think, and that's why I thought you slam dunked it. I was like, there's no way when Steve goes in front of those people. I'm not even sure you how to do a speech, Steve. It was brilliant. Like, you nailed that speech.
Will Huser, I forgot I don't know if that's his last name, but
I can't say it either.
He went to town on me saying I talk too fast. It was stuttering. He went to town on me, and you know how he does the sagas.
Yeah.
And he went to town on me on my final speech.
Did he? Why don't I remember that? Oh, yeah, I do. I watched it. Oh, but look, Steve, I'll let you in on a secret. It's like me. I said that Austin was running a drug ring in his beard and Vanessa was stealing people's souls. You just got to pick the one thing and run with it. You just take the one.
I do talk quickly.
Yeah, you talk. So do I.
DR said, hey, I love what you just said. Just say it again, but slower.
You are not allowed to talk about production. Winner.
Yes, I am.
No, do you have the check yet, Steve? Then I wouldn't. If you don't have that check yet, I wouldn't. That's why I'm protecting you. What are we talking about? Exactly. Nothing, because that didn't happen. We edited it out. No, they're fine with that. Melissa Rue says, were you glad that your mom changed your Twitter? Did your mom change your Twitter?
I had a Twitter, Steve Moses 314, and then my mom
changed it to Geek Squad McGee. So do you like?
No, she didn't. She just made a brand new Twitter for me.
Okay, and do you like it? Maybe that's what she's asking.
I mean, I never used Twitter much. I think I had about 10 tweets on my old account, so I'm still figuring out how to I'm still struggling. How do I find people who tweeted at me? I'm still not very good. I never really used Twitter prior to exiting the house, so I'm still very new to it.
Oh, Steve, we'll have to give you a lesson.
Yes.
We will give you a Twitter. It's the bell, Steve, is the point.
My mom is very proud that she knows Twitter better than I do. She's very proud of that.
That is. I don't know how many people could say that about their moms. Your mom now. Can I say one funny story about your mom now? I think she'll find it funny. So before the show, I'm dealing with a million things, and your mom starts texting me and goes, my internet isn't making my camera work correctly. And I went, oh, Mrs. Moses.
Oh, I was going to use that camera today, and she was very unhappy that I suggested that the two were unrelated.
Oh, I didn't want to. This is the first time we were really talking. So I was like, how do I tell her that the internet doesn't control the webcam? And I was
I tried. Yeah. She was very angry when I suggested that to her today because I was going to use that computer for you. It was like, no, don't touch it. Don't touch it. You're going to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Chat room, I see this a million times. I promise you, we are going to help Steve if he wants to get on YouNow. Everybody wants you on YouNow. They keep saying Steve, get a YouNow.
I never heard of it prior to you, so I'm brand new.
But we are going to help you out with it, Steve, if he wants.
Okay, that's awesome.
He just won. We need to give him a little time. He's here to answer your question.
I splurged. I got a Wii U. It's coming in the mail from Amazon tomorrow.
Oh, I'll give you some games. I have some good games.
Nice.
You need to. Well, we'll talk about it after. I don't want to say that now. I'm just saying this way you can get free games. Here's a question. I'll tell you after. Can you ask Steve what kind of music he likes? Steve, we have the same favorite song, I heard. But go ahead. What kind of music do you like? That was from Hella Rally B.
What's that favorite song?
Hide and Seek.
That's good. I'm a big fan. I'm a theater junkie, so I love musical theater soundtracks. I'm looking at possibly getting my master's in theater for sound.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also into electronic EDM, that type of stuff, if that's not for two completely different things.
Mm-hmm.
Also, since I'm a classical musician, I'm a classical music major, I'm also a big fan of some of that older music as well.
Right.
I'm a big Bach fan, for instance, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There you
I'm
go.
in a lot of very different places.
I'm the same way. I love all music. I'm trying to shut up and let you be able to answer more questions. I lost it. Darn, sorry. There was a good one where they were explaining why you guys had to switch to Scamper Squad, which I can basically just tell people it's because
was the name of a TV show, apparently.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to say. I just wanted to see who said it in the chat room. But let's go to Skywise says, Steve, do you plan on watching live feed flashbacks? Well, there's still time. They end on October 8th.
I read there online until the beginning of next season.
Me too. So I don't know why.
I'm not sure I don't know, but I thought I read there until next season.
I read they were until next season too, but what was it last year? Do you remember what it was last year? I felt like they ended right after last year, so I was surprised.
I'm not sure. Well, also, it's different this year because it's on CBS All Access.
Correct.
So it wouldn't necessarily be the same thing because it's on an entirely new.
That's a good point. So you're right. So then it probably is around. Again, we can't find these answers. We can't get official, how do you win America's Live favorite player? We can't get end times for feeds. But you know what we can get, Steve? This answer for Gabrielle Blank, who wants to know, Steve, did you lose or gain weight in the house?
No idea.
No idea? I'm going to go with
No
you
idea.
lost weight in the house.
Okay. I didn't really ever weigh myself.
Oh, and I'll also say that.
Yeah, Mom, the show's still happening.
Is it really?
Yes, you're on live right now.
Hi, tell her to say hi. They want to see her.
Mom, you have been requested. She's on her way. Oh, that's not the right way.
Where do I go?
Hi, we missed you. Say hi to your fans.
Say hi to your fans.
I need headphones. Hi, everybody. How are ya? It's good
Hi.
to see everybody.
Chat room says hi. Hi, Kathy. Hi. They all say hi. They missed you.
Can you
no.
make the cup for us bigger?
We can
There
try.
we go. There you go. Got it. Got
No.
it.
Yeah, well, see, here's the other thing though, Steve. It's different. We're square in the final version, but the HD later people will see that.
Okay.
But yes, no, we see you two together. Steve, everybody loves your mom. Why don't you wait? Hold on. Let me do this. I'm just going to get out of it altogether. Hopefully everybody can hear you. This is what I want on full screen. You ready, Steve?
Sure.
Your mom supported you all season.
She did.
Now is your time to thank her on camera. But not on camera here for all of us, Steve. Go ahead.
Oh, they
Thank-
want to see it.
They want
I've
we want
already
to
done it.
Nope. Nope, now Steve. Thank her.
Hey, I'll pay off the college loans that you've taken for me.
Okay.
That's
that
all
sounds
you
like
get.
A deal.
That's all you
I'll
get.
take it. That's all I want.
She has some loans out in my name for school things, and I am paying them.
Yay. Okay, Steve, are you ready for more questions?
Sure. I don't know if I want my mom here for it, but sure.
Well, tell her she can't hear. Can she hear? You have to leave now.
I'm going to leave.
No, you want to stay?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Okay, this could get awkward. No. Okay. Steve, oh, okay. We're going to go here. I'll help you out with your mom, Steve. Ready? Let's go with this
Okay.
one. Steve, Big Bro always wants to know, was gas management really a problem in the house or just a running joke?
No, everyone loved to harass each other for farting relentlessly. That just happened a lot. Slop makes you fart.
It what was slop like? What was how would you describe it to us for those that might not
It's
know?
just very bland. Like, and it's fine because it's fine as a food because you can just pour like honey and sugar into it until it tastes good, which is fine. The problem is you can eat 10 bowls a day and 4 bowls a day, and your hunger is equal.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's the problem.
Right. Jennerific is saying after the show, Steve, you need to search hashtag Team Steve. I'm not sure why, but I think
I've heard about
what is it? Tell me about it. Is it not?
Oh, I couldn't hear anything about it.
Oh, you couldn't tell
It's
me.
his fans. That's what it is.
Okay. Melissa Rue says, we love you, Mom. You're the best. Sabetta wants to know, so what happened with the Cody Derek speech? Did you just decide against it? So you just decided against it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you, I am Shay Jenkins wants to know, did you plan on talking to the live feeders when you went into the house? Was that part of your strategy?
I wouldn't call it part of the strategy, but it's part of I know how awesome it is when they talk to cameras because I'm a feeder. So I know what feeders like, and that's the best thing a feeder can do. So I want to be a little treat for the feeders.
Okay, and we we appreciate that. You can't really don't answer this question. Don't say. Look, here's how I'm going to word it. Ready? Did you see the person on the stage behind Austin at Fnatic? Just did you see them? Don't give a name or say anything. I don't know if you do know what it is, but did you just see that happen? You didn't see
No
that?
idea until I watched the finale back at home.
Okay. Now, don't give a name. Do you think anybody know who it was?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. Good answer. Okay, perfect. Good answer. It was funny though. It was funny.
Hilarious.
I thought it was the best thing I've ever seen. Please ask him about missing Zero on HOH. What does that mean?
Yeah, I did a job on that tiebreaker.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I was like, what does that mean? See,
Yeah, it's the What the Bleep in Final Four.
got you. Okay, did having glasses, I'm just trying to fire questions at you so we can get a bunch of these in. Did having glasses ever get in the way of playing comps?
Yes. We had a very interesting experience, me trying to figure out contacts before the house, for comps. It did not go well.
It did not go well.
I highly recommend, if you are glass and only glasses wearer, I very highly recommend figuring out the contacts thing.
Right, exactly.
Eyes just didn't happen.
Right. Giselle wants to know, Giselle BB17, one of your huge fans on Twitter, wants to know. See, your mom knows she's a fan on Twitter. And of course now Giselle. Now I just
on Twitter.
I know you do.
She knows who all of your fans are on Twitter. But guess what? The question just went away that quickly. Giselle, ask me again. I'm sorry. Steve Moses BB17 wants to know.
That's a good Twitter handle.
It is a good Twitter handle. And he said, what should he do when auditioning for Big Brother? Do you have any tips? Now, I told him, try being yourself. And I thought that was funny. But what's your advice?
I very religiously went through all the Dan stuff. He has his YouTube videos. He has his books on how to get cast in reality TV. I used all of that very much. I mean, it's not... Because I think one of the biggest things is that go to a casting call or you put in a tape. Everyone's a fan of the show. I didn't talk about being a part of fan of the show until it was super late in the process. I just I made my character. I think something else, an interesting trend I've noticed. If you look at every episode too, it says 16 people just moved in. Among them, the nerd, the mom, this, the that, and they go around clapping word people and everyone. But I think before you go, look at those episodes too. Figure out what those labels are. Figure out what label you want to be. And then find examples from your life that make you that label. When you do that first tape or do that first casting call, tell them my label is this, and these are the reasons why I'm this. I said, I'm smart because I'm top on Ivy League and I did SAT. And I'm the cute little kid because I slept with my teddy bear and did Lion King. And then I made fun of someone who was at the casting call with me, and that was my tape.
Oh, that's how we love Lion King. Okay, wait, Steve, they did hear that, or if you missed it, you can hear it on the playback because all the audio is perfect on the playback, the backup. But Steve, they're saying you're very breaky up and staticky, and I think it's picking up the sound from your headphones. No, I think it's just because your headphones are around your neck, so we're like hearing
the headphones aren't plugged in.
Oh, that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is. Okay, talk now.
Got it.
Oh,
we're good.
Okay, now we're good. Tell your mom wait, go ahead. Keep talking.
A, B, C, D. I
Yeah,
spring.
you're good. You're good. Okay. So, no, you don't have to say it again, but I will say this because I got Giselle's question back now. As a fan like you of Big Brother, she wants to know, you may not have heard, Battle of the Block was called the #1 fan requested thing this season. How do you feel about that, Steve? Do you want it back next year, #1?
I believe the technical term for saying Bayo is a fan favorite is BS. I believe that's just a flat out lie. Is the word for that.
No, you don't.
It's an Alison Grodner favorite, maybe.
Right.
But that's probably about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think
I just want to point out that the original nominees didn't matter. We had BOB for 5 weeks, and I believe 4 of them were backdoors.
Right. I mean, it's not interesting. It's not interesting for us to watch. It cuts down on the drama. I think it was a twist intended to end preseason all-star alliances.
Well, I think what the function originally was supposed to be that you have 2 HOHs both putting up the nominees they want up, and then you're going to battle to make their nominees the nominees. The problem is HOHs are too afraid to put up the nominees they actually want to nominate, because they could win their way off the block. So it comes back to our city and they just end up putting 2 pawns. I think it would work in theory if an HOH were to put up the 2 nominees, they would be nominating anyways if there wasn't a BOP twist, but no one does that.
Right. Right. All right. I'm so torn right now. I feel horrible that you have echo. I feel horrible that you can't hear.
You're fine. I just take it off when I talk. It's good.
All right. I mean, if you want, I will switch over to full screen. We can do the hang up and call back and see if that fixes it. No?
No problem.
Or no problem do that, or just keep going?
No, go ahead. We don't no reason to do it. Let's keep going.
Okay, let's keep going then. Will we see more of Stefan? Jackie Knows from Twitter in the chat room wants to know.
Stefan was my alter ego as part of making Vanessa think she could control me. The stubble, the hair, all of Stefan was me showing Vanessa that I was her puppet.
So we're not getting the beard back? Oh, great. Your mom's there. I know she hates it. No.
I mean, maybe.
Oh, Steve, it was a good look.
It was all for Vanessa.
Well, all right.
100%.
All right. Okay, fine. All for Vanessa. Fine. We liked it, Steve. That's all we're saying.
I'm getting a lot of positive reception, so I might do it. I will say the reason I did it originally was not for looks or because I liked it.
Which is, again, why I say I don't think people realize that you thought out so much stuff in this game that was like very much in your head in a sense in the beginning. That
wasn't good TV, so it didn't make the show until I evicted Jackie and everyone was so confused why I wasn't a goblin.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it didn't make the feeds either a lot, I have to say. Like, I understand now more why you did what you did, now that you're saying it, so I think that is good. Because, yeah, it's interesting.
I think, like, a lot of my game was missed.
Well...
Kind of like Andy Aaron.
Well, exactly. So I hope he reached out to you. I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it's going to be surprising to you. As long as Audrey was in that house, the feeds were pretty much on Audrey. For most of the time. So I think that missed out on a lot of what you were doing because of that. So yeah, I mean, I'll say that. And then it was not much longer after that
it was Vanessa.
Right. Audrey is queen. Yes, chat room. Audrey's queen. We know. Please ask him. Okay, April, do you think, as far as female players go, Vanessa, because you said it in the house, like when you were practicing your speech, Vanessa was the best female player. Do you... okay.
She's up there.
Okay, that's what they want to know. Do you still stand by that, or who else would you say?
Danielle Reyes is up there.
Uh-huh.
Maggie Osborne's up there. Jordan as a social player is up there, but not as a strategist. So she's not like the top of the top, but her social game's absolutely amazing. Vanessa's up there.
Janelle. Oh, okay. I don't think I bought that.
Comp, her strength is more in comp.
Okay.
Because again, she wasn't someone who was thinking strategy a lot. I mean, I just remember her like with the key and Jennifer and throwing, give me the key, and like they go fetch like a dog. I don't think was a strategic move.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
but she was great TV and she was a beast at comps.
Correct. I agree. I mean, yeah, I agree. People just want to are just.
And I don't know if she's the but she's definitely up every time.
Okay, everybody coming back would like to know, or a lot of the new people tuning in, Steve, I think you say it better, so I'm going to let you re-answer it again. Everyone keeps asking about your secret, so go ahead, tell them.
Make up all the conspiracy theories you like.
He wants us to make them up, so keep making them up.
Go ahead.
But then when it needs a hashtag, Steve, can we call it hashtag Steve Secret?
You guys, whatever you want. I just don't want to be a part of it.
Oh, well, that's so fun. If you're not, fine. I'm going to call it hashtag Steve Secret, everyone. Make it
right ahead.
I know you don't know Twitter, and we're going to have to help you, Steve, but trust me, you want it to you want a hashtag. You want it trending. Or maybe you don't, because you don't want to go back for some reason.
Whatever you want to do.
Did you... Oh, yes. We've already addressed... Steve already addressed his list. You can go watch that earlier in the show or on the other show. Do you have any plans on writing a book or giving people advice on how you played the game, Steve? A lot of people want to.
I've heard about that. No, I didn't, but it keeps coming up.
Because Vanessa said in her blog she wants to write a blog or a book about...
I read Vanessa's blog. It's like, hey, if you want to read my blog, buy my book. That
But-
seems like that's what Vanessa's blog said.
See, now, I don't know how I missed this, but I swear she didn't say a book. Like, everybody did tell me that, and I thought she just said she was going to write blogs on it.
She said she's going to write everything after.
Okay, well,
I don't remember the specific medium. I feel like my HOH blog had a lot more content than hers did.
I definitely agree with that, and I think that's why people would like you to do something postseason. And I would love to endorse somebody that makes a fan book about how to play and get on the season. That's not Dan, so get on that.
About casting or about strategy?
It all. Pick one. I don't care. Anything. I would just like to use players for strategy or how to get cast, but I think strategy would be how you
Well, there's
should.
so many different ways to play the game.
Correct.
But like the way I won is very different than the way Derek won.
Correct. But I think how you
Andy
won.
and I had some commonalities.
I was just going to say, you and Andy, I think, played a kind of common game or a similar.
There were a lot in common.
And I feel that's the hardest game to play is an Andy game or your game. Do you agree with that?
I did what I could do with my skill set. You don't pick the kind of game you play. It's what kind of game are you capable of playing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I could have never played Jordan's game in a million years because I don't have that skill set.
Right.
I had to play my game because that's what I could do. It was the easiest for me because that's what my skill set is. It depends on what you're good at and what you're not good at.
I'm sure you could have flirted with Jeff and had him take you to the end. Okay. Here's a question that, and I'm going to tell you, trust me on this one, Steve, you don't have to worry about being politically correct. I can tell you right now, she's going to love you no matter how you answer this question. This is one that we can address, and we don't even have to play it safe at all. Louis Bertook says, why did you have so much dislike for Amanda? It seemed like... Go ahead.
She was a bully.
Okay.
Who was not bullying for strategy.
Wait, are you a fan of Dan?
Dan Giesling?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think he did that to Danielle Murphy?
Based on my impression,
right.
I think what Dan did was strategy.
Okay. So wait. So then I totally didn't know. So are you saying that you really are not an Amanda fan?
I am an Amanda fan.
Okay, good.
She did a lot of things very, very well in the game. It's just she was a bully, and I don't like bullying unless it's game.
Got you. 100% got you. Wow, we'll debate that, not debate what Amanda did. It's interesting because what you just said about Amanda is exactly what I feel about Dan. And I think you and Amanda will love each other in real life because she's great in real life. But your mom said, you probably don't know that she signed you up for this. We want an anti-bullying with Steve thing with like Austin and Liz and
But it was all planned with me and Austin.
Well, again,
do you disagree?
Well, we've disagreed a little bit, and your mom does.
Okay.
Still fill you in.
Okay.
Still fill you in. Dan. All right, we're not going to debate Dan right now. Chat room wants to talk about Dan. We're not going there.
Dan Giesling fan.
What?
Huge Dan Giesling fan.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's the only thing we don't have in common, Steve.
I'm sorry.
We were doing so good until now. That's fine. Ask Steve if... Oh, yeah, this is a good one. Jessica H. wants to know, did you hear the wall screamer saying that America wanted Julia voted out? Or were you not aware that happened?
I heard about a wall screamer, and we came inside, and everyone was locked inside, but I wasn't outside when it happened, and everyone who was outside said they couldn't make it out.
Well, there you go.
Whether they actually couldn't make it out, it definitely occurred to me that they may be lying saying they couldn't make it out, but they said they couldn't make it out.
Now, Christine came to your guys' defense a lot on this, and she was telling fans, don't do this. It doesn't help anybody. All it does is take away their precious outside time. Nobody's going to believe it, and it just kills them. So is that kind of how you guys...
Because there's also been information shouted in that's wrong.
Correct.
I mean, I remember the banner in season 8, Amber and Eric are liars. Amber and Eric weren't liars.
I believe the two funniest things that I heard this season said, one was about wall shouters. It was from Miss Cleo, and he said, the only thing that should be shouted over the wall is Derek is a cop. Which would not have been funny if you guys were outside and heard Derek is a cop. That'd be funny. And
this season?
This season, like that's why it would be funny if you guys were just all outside and the wall screamer was like Derek is a cop.
I would have supported that.
And then the other one, which I thought was very funny, is I saw
also acceptable.
Is what?
Evan has a daughter.
Yes, Evan has a daughter. Devon has a daughter we tried to make stick this season. But another one that I liked was after you guys found out about the twins and like everybody wanted them voted out, somebody said, let's fly a banner plane over the backyard that says they're triplets. Like, wouldn't that have like freaked you guys out?
Because that's what the internet was saying.
Right, exactly.
Before I got in, I remember reading about triplets this season.
Mm-hmm. That's how Devon and Jason said they knew because they read
I was looking for triplets that I read about it, but Liz and I didn't see it. They fooled me.
They did. They fooled it. Okay, Steve, I know we really do now need to start wrapping it up. So, Steve, I want people to follow you in all places you are. I loved your, and I don't understand how you did it, your Connects video. That was Connect stuff, right? On YouTube. Yes. We saw you're doing the harmonizing with the Disney songs and all the Steves, right? That was Disney songs?
Yeah, that wasn't Disney, but yeah.
Okay, it wasn't Disney, but I don't have a long-term memory. Steve, chat room is dying to know, when are we going to get new Steve YouTube content?
I don't do a whole lot of YouTube content.
So what I
might do, if people, with everyone talking about a book or something, I might do something talking about like casting or game or something.
Oh, please do. I'm on board.
Just talk about casting.
Okay, yes, sure. Whatever you want, Steve. I'm so on board. Make it happen. I will promote the hell out of it.
Or my YouNow account, which apparently I'm going to be getting soon.
Yes, you will. Hey, Steve, that's, you're right there. Okay.
Follow me on Twitter, GeekSquadBiggie1.
It's right, go like this, Steve. It's right below you. It's right there. No, there you go. You did it. There you go. You got it. That's pointing to Steve. Okay, Steve. Why? I'm just firing through these last questions to clear out chat room questions. Why did Steve vote for Jeff? Steve, why'd you vote for Jeff?
Oh, in week 3? Mm-hmm. Because there was mad chaos before, like in the half hour before, and I thought the vote flipped, and I was wrong.
You thought the vote flipped and you were wrong. Okay. Jennerific. And chat room, I'm warning you, we're last 5 minutes, we're wrapping up. So number one fan is still far and away, Terry. But just letting you guys know so no one can say, you didn't give us a chance, a warning. Okay, Steve, what was your favorite video? I guess maybe on your YouTube? What's your favorite video? What video do you like the best on your YouTube? Jennerific wants to know.
I have the Connect thing, I have the me singing and everything, those two.
I thought we saw way more videos than that. Why did
there is, but those are the two I put like time into.
Okay, got it.
Like random band, marching band things from high school, things like that.
Okay. Steve, will you marry Cupcakes for Lily or T-Pain Man?
I'm in no rush for marriage. I'm still a college student.
So, are you aware? Because no, you wouldn't have known. Are you aware that Brendan and Rachel announced Brenchel Baby on the show?
Yes, they told me in the backyard. Rachel told me in the backyard when she interviewed me.
Oh, Steve!
So happy for them.
Steve, you know when Rachel told America?
And Jeff and Jordan have a date. Finally.
Sure they do. 6 seasons later. Oh, they must have renewed their contract. When Rachel told everyone, Steve, a month before on our show. I couldn't believe when Julie Chen was we had them on and I was like, Rachel, are you ready to announce? She's like, yes, I'll announce. And a month later, Julie's like, we got a Brenchel announcement. I'm like, we already covered it, lady. We already covered it. And they put our tweet on the screen. First time in 5 years, our tweet for Brenchel Baby. There you go. We made it.
On the talk or on the show?
No, on, they pull the tweets up or whatever. I was like, oh.
On Big Brother, after the eviction happened.
Correct. Where I always try and.
Eric, there's something you got to know from Mom here.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you. Go ahead.
You ready?
We're ready.
Okay. I just want you to know that Steve is really working hard to get going on Twitter and respond to everybody. He hasn't quite caught up yet. I will help him. He doesn't trust me. I know you fans out there are telling me he should listen to me, but he's a kid, so he's not going to listen to his mother. But he is responding. And Facebook people, he's getting to you. In the next few days, don't worry. He's giving me bunny ears right now.
Yeah.
So don't worry, everybody. He really, really appreciates the fans a lot.
I've
He's
said
gonna
that
get to you.
repeatedly. Yeah.
Just saying. You're not listening to Mom, you know? Okay, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, we.
Same with the emails. I haven't gotten to the emails yet because there's a lot of them, but I will get to people.
Yes, I think fans know. And look, fans, if you don't know, I don't know if you heard, Steve's been locked in jail for like 3 months. He's literally been home for like a day and a half, 2 days, and now he's here. You have to give him a break. I can't keep up with my email, Steve, and I wasn't away for 3 months. So everybody, Steve is getting to it. He loves you all. But Steve, I'm gonna let you tell the people what do you want to say to all your fans? What do you want to say to all your supporters?
I just want to say thank you so much because it's so weird being on the other side of this camera because, you know, I mentioned your show in the house. I'm a huge fan of, I am the Big Brother super fan. I'm sure I've made that very clear.
Right.
And I've been, for the last 10, 15 years, I've been on the other side of the camera. I've been on the one watching the feeds. I've been on the one watching these shows. And it is so bizarre now being on the other side of the camera. And all I can do is say, because it's so wonderful being here, because I know, because I've been harsh myself at times when watching other people. And it's just so warm and welcoming to see what a positive reception I've gotten. I'm just so thankful that there's been so much love and so much support and even so many marriage proposals at some of them come out. And I'm just so thankful and honored that you guys have been there to support me. I was really, really thankful.
And and you guys, just so you know, when you guys are watching this video back, the links to all Steve's social media, which is so far now YouTube, Twitter, and that is it, right? The links to that will be below. And of course, Steve is going to tweet out when he's doing those phone calls for charity.
I probably should put those up soon. There's no reason to keep waiting.
Right, we'll talk to Liza, but Steve will tweet it out. We'll also put the links to that below this show too, whenever Steve does it. All right, Steve, fans love you. Go ahead, what?
Right, just thank you.
Just thank you, Steve. All right, I'm going to say goodbye, and then, Steve, you don't go anywhere. Let's say goodbye to the chat room together. Bye, chat room. We will see.
Did Terry win the bear?
Terry won the bear. Far and away won the bear. Steve, I love you. Okay, bye, everybody. Bye, chat room. We'll see you guys later. Oh, tomorrow night, I should let everyone know, it's tomorrow night, I'm live with Austin, I think. It's either Austin or Julia, or flip it. I don't know. I can't keep up. I haven't slept, all you people, new interviews. But the schedule will tweet out in a little bit. Bye, everybody. Bye, chat room.
Bye, thank you again.
Love you guys. Bye, everybody.